Every compliment should not carry the same value. Now, I'm going to let you guys know right now that you are probably, this may ruffle a few feathers, what I'm about to talk about today, but it needs to be said. You know, I'm the self-relationship coach, so here we go. I'll give you a little background that might help ease it a little bit. So several years ago, I was in a relationship with a person, and the relationship was very, very toxic. And I was actually talking to a male friend. We were in the car, and he was asking me, why are you just continuing to put up with this toxic relationship? What is it about this guy that just makes you feel like you have to stay connected? And at the time, I said, well, it's how he makes me feel. And so my good friend said, well, how does he make you feel? What does he say? And I said, well, he tells me that I'm beautiful. And my buddy was like, okay, and I said, well, when he tells me I'm beautiful and he gives me all these compliments and commends me, that just makes me feel good. And so he did something that I will never, ever forget. He, at the time, rolled down the window, and some random woman walking down the street, he yells out to her, hey, beautiful. She smiled, waved, and kept it moving. He did that about 2 more times, just random women walking by. Hello, beautiful. You look beautiful today. And they all pretty much had the same reaction. Smile, a little giggle, kept it moving. What was his point? He turned to me and he said, do you see how empty those words can be? Now, those women in their own right, they were beautiful women, but were they putting any stock really in his random compliment? No. And I will never forget that really started me on a journey of thinking about the power of words, even at that time, which I still had a long way to go. But the reality is, so many times we put value in words, and particularly because so many times we don't see that in ourselves. We don't see the value in ourselves. So let me unpack it a little bit more. I'll fast forward to another time when I was talking to a therapist, and we were having this conversation, and she says to me, you seem to be very caught up when people give you these compliments, specifically men. You know, oh, you're amazing, you're awesome, you're this. And she said, do you know that you're beautiful? And I remember kind of stopping. It was kind of different for her to say that. And I said, I couldn't answer. And she said, do you know that you're amazing? Do you know that you're smart? I said, I do know I'm smart. I was always pretty confident in that. But I really couldn't answer confidently in those other questions. And she said, let me break it down to you this way. You are beautiful. You are talented. You're loving. You are amazing. And you are going to attract people to you just simply because of the energy that you give out. Someone acknowledging that should not change your life. Talk about a game changer. Think about that. Someone acknowledging the obvious should not change your life. And so as I really processed that and began to work on that, and then started really digging into helping other women, it's something that I've really become passionate about. It's helping women understand, number one, that words are powerful, but they can be equally as empty if you don't first have the belief in yourself. I'll give you an example. If you work to clean your house and it was just spotless, it was looking great, the decor was on point, someone walks in, you already know that your house is looking amazing, right? If someone comes in and says, oh my goodness, your house looks so amazing, it looks great, you appreciate the acknowledgement of what you know because you put the work in to make it that way. You don't walk away and say, oh my goodness, they told me my house looks amazing. Maybe they'll be my best friend. Maybe they'll love me for life because they acknowledge that my house looks amazing. But yet, this is what so many of us are doing when it comes to relationships. We're falling in love with people simply because they say, you're beautiful, you're amazing, you're good at this, you're good at that. Words, right? We're forming relationships with people who just simply acknowledge the obvious. In some instances, we're even forming business relationships with people simply because they acknowledged something about us, a quality about us that really is obvious. So what really is the point here? At the end of the day, you have to know your value. That needs to be the baseline. You need to know that you are beautiful, that you are amazing, that you are smart. Plug in any other quality so that when someone else says it to you, you can appreciate it. You can feel good in the moment that they acknowledged this quality, but it doesn't change your life. It's words and commendation and compliments are really not a good foundation to build a whole relationship on. Like those women from way back in the day when, like I said, my homie was like, hey, beautiful. Those women, they were tickled, they giggled, they smiled, but they recognized I'm not forming a relationship with a random guy that yells out that I'm beautiful. So when it comes to how we see ourselves, we have to step back and recognize that someone's acknowledgement of our qualities, of our abilities, of the amazing things that we do are not a foundation. They feel good and they should. We appreciate that and we should, but they should not change our lives to where we're put so much stock in what they say. Learn to say those things to yourself and believe them on your own so that it's simply an acknowledgement of what you already know. My link to my new book about the power of words and the power especially in saying I am and what comes after that is there. Check it out if you want some more information and advice on how to use words in a way that builds yourself up.